Living large, living loud, stacking paper high, chasing dreams all the way to the sky. From rags to riches in the blink of an eye, friendships in the vault where the old bonds die. Parties on rooftops, crystals in the dark, lost in the glitz till we miss the mark. Gold turned to chains, heavy on the heart, the price of a wish tearing us apart. Crew, we just hit the jackpot, stacks, money taller, now we on the top of the map. The grease slid in like a police trap. Truck broke down, can't avoid that cap. Friends turn foes, plot a twist, no script. Lies and blood, bills ain't clean, they drip. Versace steering wheel, now we in for a trip. We used to be friends, but our bond just ripped. Gone. We hit, 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 we hit.
Chapter 22, Full Circle.
The ice in my glass clinked as I swirled the whiskey, staring at nothing. I could still hear the gunshot in my head, still see Kim drop, the chaos erupting like a damn war zone. But instead of guilt, I felt proud. I did what needed to be fucking done. Emanuel brought this onto his damn self. He thought he could keep playing his little games and shit, manipulating, controlling, pulling strings behind the scenes. And now his wife is a name on a fucking program. A smirk tugged at the corner of my mouth as I leaned back into the chair. Once Emanuel finds out I'm still alive, he's gonna come for me. And Trey, that nigga don't move unless Emanuel tell him to. Fucking errand boy. But I'll be ready. Hell, I might need to make my presence known. That way I'll control the shots. I'll have my ducks in a row by that time. If I die, the money goes back into the trust fund. Hell no. Them fuckers can't have my shit. How do I protect Key C in all of this without letting her know? She's the only one I trust. The only one that can keep everything mine if something happens to me. Wait a minute. I can move our wedding date up. Hell, we might even go to the courthouse tomorrow. That way, if anything happens to me, she can get her money and leave this city. The door swung open. I didn't look up. Didn't have to. I felt her energy shift the second she stepped inside. Sharp, focused, suspicious. Kesey dropped her bag on the counter, her tone already edged with frustration.
Nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? You fucking leave the hospital. Are you fucking stupid? And you decide to go missing. I was scared as hell that you might have went to that party.
I took a slow sip, savoring the burn. Didn't answer.
Kim got killed tonight.
She folded her arms, stepping closer. Still, I said nothing. Just let the silence stretch until she was standing right in front of me, waiting.
Did you hear me? Kim got killed tonight.
Finally, I spoke. We need to move the wedding date up. Her whole body tensed. I felt it before I saw it.
What?
She looked at me like I'd lost my damn mind. Maybe I had. I don't want to wait, Key. Let's do it now. Her arms dropped to her sides.
Ladarius, we already set the date. We got everything planned. Why the hell you trying to rush it now? And is this all you got to say? Your homeboy's wife just died, and you are over here trying to move our wedding date up?
Everybody dying around us, Key. Ain't no point in dragging shit out. She stared at me, her expression unreadable. Then she shook her head.
Is that what this is really about? Or is it about something else? Hell, you look like you just crawled out of a fucking grave.
I lifted my gaze to hers, and the way she was looking at me, like she could see right through me, made my stomach twist. But she couldn't see all of it. She couldn't see that I was happy. That part of me felt alive for the first time in a long time. I leaned forward, elbows on my knees, exhaling slow. You are the only thing keeping me steady, Key. That's the whole fucking point. She sucked in a breath. I saw the shift in her face. She felt it too. She sighed, dragging her nails down her forearm.
You really serious about this?
I stood up, stepping into her space, towering over her. I ain't never been more serious about anything in my life. She searched my face, trying to push, trying to challenge me, but I wasn't lying. I don't want to wait. I don't want to give anything else time to fall apart. I want you, forever. Right fucking now. Her expression softened, but her breath was still shaky. She knew something was wrong, because she knew me. Kesey reached for my hand, her fingers threading through mine, and for the first time that night, I felt like I could breathe. She pulled me closer, resting her forehead against my chest.
I'm scared too, but you can't just up and take off like that.
I closed my eyes for a second before answering. I just need something solid, something I know won't disappear on me. She nodded, her grip tightening around my hand. I let out a slow breath, pulling her closer, pressing my lips to her forehead. For the first time that night, I wasn't thinking about anything else. Just her, just us. She tilted her head up, looking at me, her lips parting slightly. I kissed her, slow at first, then deeper. I needed her to remind me I was still here. She pulled me toward the couch, sinking into me, her warmth pressing against my skin, a quiet, unspoken promise in the way she held on to me. This wasn't about fixing anything. This was about holding on to what was left, and I planned to keep every single thing that was mine. Later, as she curled up against me, her breath still uneven, I looked at her and said, "So, we moving the date up or not?"
You really asking me that after what we just did?
She let out a soft laugh, shaking her head.
You better not be hiding shit from me, Darius. Whatever's weighing you down, I'll find out eventually.
I was still seeing red. The chaos from the mayor's party hadn't settled in my chest yet, and all I could think about was what I saw. Ashley, with Trey. She was supposed to be running, supposed to be getting out of there. But instead, she was right there with that snake, holding on to him like he was her damn savior. The moment we stepped into the master bedroom, I slammed the door behind us, pacing the floor, fists clenched. My whole body was tight with frustration, with anger, with something even uglier beneath it, jealousy. Ashley dropped her clutch on the dresser, exhaling, her voice softer than I wanted it to be.
Jaysin, just let me explain.
Explain what, Ash? That you were with him? That after all the shit you told me about Trey, you still ran to him? What the fuck were you doing with him?
He pulled me away in the chaos. I didn't know what was happening, and Jaysin, I was scared.
Nah, I scoffed, running a hand over my face. That's bullshit. You had a choice.
And I chose to be safe.
She snapped back now, stepping toward me.
I didn't see you. I didn't know where you were. Trey was there, and I
stepped even closer, cutting her off. You don't think I would have found you? That I wouldn't have made sure you were good? Instead, you with that grimy motherfucker like he your fucking protector? Her jaw tightened, her breath uneven.
It wasn't like that, Jaysin.
I laughed under my breath, shaking my head. The fuck it wasn't. Ashley sighed, rubbing her temple, her demeanor shifting. She looked up at me, her voice lower now.
You're mad. I get it. But Jaysin, I'm here. I'm safe. I came back to you.
Ashley leaned back, tilting her head, that damn smirk plastered on her face. She knew exactly what she was doing.
I know how you get when you're mad, baby. You just need a release.
I clenched my jaw. She was setting me up. Then she did it. She flexed her toes, wiggling them like she was casting a damn spell.
Come take it out on me. Right here, on your favorite spot, my feet.
Them goddamn feet were my weakness. I blinked, contemplated all my life choices, and yet I stepped forward anyway and unbuttoned my pants. She grabbed my prosthetic hand and told me I wouldn't get it back until I finished, so I had no choice. Once I got to going, she reached forward, gripping my spot, the one she knew would ruin me. I sucked in a sharp breath, my whole body locked up. Then she leaned in, lips barely brushing my ear, and whispered the most ridiculous, out-of-pocket shit imaginable.
Unload the savings, Mr. Moneybags.
That shit shot out of me like a bomb in Pearl Harbor. Ashley burst out laughing, dragging her fingers over my bald head, trying to keep a straight face.
Feel better?
I was too breathless to respond, just standing there, gripping her ankle like I had just been knocked the hell out. This ain't over, Ash.
Our new house was damn near perfect. Bigger, nicer, something I should have been happy about. But I wasn't. Boxes were still scattered everywhere, furniture half set up, and none of that mattered because today was Kim's funeral. I sat on the edge of the bed, rolling my shoulders, trying to push the tension out of them, but it wasn't working. Too much shit was on my mind. Kim was gone, just like that. Murdered in front of the whole damn city, and yet nobody had a clue who did it. That didn't sit right with me. Emanuel has power, money, control. Who the hell had the balls to take her out? I exhaled, rubbing my temple, lost in thought.
You're still thinking about Kim.
I glanced up. Anterial was standing near the mirror, fixing an earring, watching me through the glass. I let out a slow breath, nodding. Yeah, shit don't sit right with me. Kim wasn't just some nobody. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. Emanuel gotta be on edge. His wife just got clipped in front of the whole damn city. You think he knows more than he's saying? Anterial smirked, shaking her head.
Emanuel always knows more than he's saying. Somebody killed Kim, which means they are prepared for war.
I clenched my jaw, thinking, this wasn't no random hit. This was calculated. Emanuel had enemies, but which one hated him enough to make this move? Anyway, are you still sure about this damn housewarming party? I haven't even took a shit in this place yet, and you trying to invite the whole city out? Because I got a feeling it ain't gonna be nothing but drama, and plus you don't know how to keep the guest list to a low number. Can we at least get a few peaceful weeks in this house before shit starts falling apart?
We will have security strictly enforced, so I'm sure it will be fine. Everyone usually behaves well at our parties. So don't worry, it will be fine.
The service was already in motion. Kim's send-off was flawless. A grand display of power and reverence. Exactly what she would have wanted. Everything was perfect on the outside. Cameras rolling, reporters swarming, the city watching. But inside, I was unraveling. Alex and Olivia were running the show, making sure every single thing was precise. None of this felt real. Kim was gone, and I still hadn't figured out who the fuck was responsible. I gripped the sink, my knuckles turning white, my shoulders tight as the weight of everything bore down on me. The grief, the rage, the confusion. I hated this feeling, this loss. For all the power I had, I couldn't stop that bullet. The sound of the door creaking open made me snap my head up. Alex, close that door, damn it. My voice came out rough, broken. I hated that he heard it. For a moment, all I could hear was the slow drip of the faucet. I took a shaky breath. I can't believe she's really gone. My voice didn't even sound like my own. I wiped at my face aggressively. No tears. Not here. Did you fix her up nice? I asked, keeping my gaze locked on the drain. Alex nodding.
Yes, we did. We got her looking real nice.
I exhaled, my chest tightening. I ain't even talked to the coroner. I haven't left the office since this happened. I've been a wreck. That was the truth. I barely left my desk, barely slept, barely ate, because every second wasted was another second the killer was still breathing. After this, my eyes burned as I said it. I want you to tell me everything you heard from the coroner, 'cause I'm out for fucking blood. Alex nodded. No questions, no hesitation, just a silent agreement. I straightened my back, squared my shoulders, and followed him back out into the service. It was a performance. My approach to the casket was slow. I could hear the whispers, feel the camera lenses zooming in, capturing every second. I forced myself to look. One last time. Olivia and Alex had done their job. Kim looked pristine. My fists clenched at my sides. Not here, not in front of them. I wouldn't let these vultures see me break. I exhaled, forced my feet to move, and took my seat. The pastor spoke, his voice a distant hum in my ears. Then he opened the floor for people to speak. I didn't care to hear it, but I sat there watching, listening. Michelle got up first, feeding the crowd lies.
Kim was my best friend. She wouldn't hurt a fly unless the fly was messing with her hair products. I just know she's looking down from heaven, smiling on us all. Save me a seat up there with you, Kim. Emanuel, if you need anything, I'm here for you.
I gave her a slight nod and put my head down. Then Anterial spoke.
These last few months have been hard for our friend group, and now Kim is gone. It don't feel real. She was a great person. We're here if you need us, Emanuel.
I gave a small nod and put my head down again. Then, another person stood. A slow, deliberate stride to the podium.
Kim was an outstanding person. She was capable of things you guys wouldn't believe, trust me. I don't know who would want to hurt her. Matter of fact, the person must be some kind of crazy to go against you, Emanuel. But I want to let you know, I'm here if you need me.
I lifted my head, and there he was, Ladarius, a dead man, standing at my wife's funeral, speaking at her fucking podium. For a second, I thought I was seeing things. But no, that motherfucker was alive, and he was smiling. The room blurred, my chest burned. Everything inside me snapped. I shot up, knocking my chair back so hard it clattered against the floor. Before I could move, before I could lunge across the room and rip his fucking throat out, Trey grabbed me. He had just finished throwing reporters out, and now he was seeing Ladarius too, who he thought he killed. His grip on me faltered for half a second, because he realized he had failed the assignment.
The second Emanuel's voice boomed through the church. My stomach dropped. The hell? I turned my head sharply, catching Olivia's wide eyes as she gave me the same confused look I was wearing. Was he talking to Ladarius? I scanned the room. Emanuel was losing it. His whole body was locked up, fists clenched. Trey, just returning from tossing out reporters, stormed in right in time to see the chaos. His reaction? Froze. For a brief second, I saw it. His hesitation. Before Emanuel could lunge, Trey snapped out of it, grabbing him, restraining him. The whole damn room was still trying to process. I just kept looking at Olivia and she kept looking at me until finally I leaned in and whispered, "What the hell just happened?" She scoffed, shaking her head.
You need to get this under control, now.
The service wrapped up with tension thick enough to choke on. The casket was being prepared for its final ride, but there was one problem, one pallbearer short. Originally, it was supposed to be Trey, but with Emanuel already outside, stewing in whatever the fuck that outburst was, Trey was preoccupied. Before anyone could suggest a replacement, Ladarius stepped up.
I got it.
It made sense. Nobody was about to argue, and plus they were good friends. Emanuel was already outside, sitting in the hearse. The men lifted the casket carefully, walking in slow unison toward the hearse. As they slid it into place, Trey turned at just the right second. His eyes landed on Ladarius, his body tensed, his whole posture shifting like he was ready to charge. Which was puzzling to me because, what the hell is going on? Trey, what the hell was that commotion about? I asked, stepping in his path. His focus snapped back to me, but I saw the way his hands clenched.
It's been a rough week for Emanuel.
Rough week? Try a rough few months for all of us. I can't have y'all acting a fool at my place of establishment. Now I don't know what the fuck is going on, but y'all need to act like y'all got some goddamn sense. I got members of the sheriff's department here, and I'd hate for someone to get locked up over some bullshit. Trey stared at me for a second, then sighed, stepping back.
Everything is fine, I assure you.
I hopped on my golf cart, leading the long procession to the burial site. But inside the hearse, the real conversation was happening.
I sat in the back seat trying to keep my composure, but fuck it. You know you fucked up, right? Trey's grip on the steering wheel tightened. I told you to execute the mission, and you didn't. You up here acting like a gun with no brains. God damn it. At the gravesite, the preacher said a few last words. Heads bowed. The casket was lowered into the ground. For a moment it was still, quiet, heavy. But something made the hairs on my neck stand up. I lifted my head, just in time to see Ladarius looking back at me. Ladarius stood there holding Kesey's hand. Then slowly, he lifted his free hand and made a gun gesture. Right at me. Ladarius, I don't know who you think you fucking with, but it's on. The burial was over, but the weight in my chest wasn't. I stood with my circle. It was good to see them. But honestly, I was ready to leave. I exhaled, nodding at them. Y'all take care. They murmured their goodbyes, but as I turned toward my car, a voice called out from the side. Chris. He had been standing apart from the group the whole time, keeping his distance. Now, as I approached, he shifted on his feet and said,
"Hey man, I'm sorry for your loss."
Then he scoffed, shaking his head.
"But if I'd got any closer to y'all today, there'd be 2 bodies in the ground."
I glanced back toward Mario. Mario, unfazed, held up his middle finger towards Chris. I understand. Trust me. That was all I said before turning back to my car. Chris didn't push the conversation. He just nodded once, then walked off. I slid into the passenger seat, Trey already waiting behind the wheel. "Take the long way home," I muttered. Trey didn't question it. The night rolled by in a blur. Then, I saw it. My favorite hole-in-the-wall bar. A place where I wasn't Emanuel, the mayor. I was just Manny. "Pull over." Trey gave me a look.
You sure?
I nodded once. Yeah. The bar smelled like whiskey, sweat, and regrets. The second I stepped inside, heads turned. Manny, well, I'll be damned. A few familiar faces from back in the day greeted me, patting me on the back. "Damn shame about your wife, man," someone muttered, shaking his head. Another signaled to the bartender, "Get him his usual." The bartender nodded, already pouring. I let out a slow breath, took my drink, downed the first sip, and for the first time all day, I felt like I could breathe.
The liquor burned smooth, settling warm in my chest. but it did nothing to calm my thoughts. I was drinking, thinking, and trying to figure out my next move. Because right now, I had none. Kicked out, nowhere to go. Just me, this bar, and a half-empty glass that sure as hell wasn't giving me any answers. Then I saw him, Emanuel, sitting across the bar, nursing a drink like the rest of us regular people. I blinked. What the hell is he doing here? This wasn't a place for mayors or politicians. This was for people like me. I watched for a second, expecting him to be hunched over, drowning in grief. But he wasn't. He looked calm. Like this wasn't the worst day of his life. Like he wasn't just standing over a grave. I narrowed my eyes. Interesting. I slid off my stool, making my way toward him. But before I could get close, a wall of muscle stepped in front of me. His bodyguard. I sighed, tilting my head up at him. Relax, big man. I'm just here to pay my respects. He didn't move, didn't even blink. Damn, he was really about this life, huh? Emanuel leaned back against the bar, eyeing me, sizing me up.
Didn't see you at the funeral,
he said. I hesitated, rolling my empty glass between my fingers before shrugging. Didn't think I'd be welcome. His eyes flicked over me, assessing something I couldn't quite read. Then, with a small wave of his hand, he said,
"Let her through."
The bodyguard didn't like it, but he stepped aside. I slid onto the stool next to him, motioning to the bartender. "Get me what he's having." Emanuel raised a brow.
"You sure you can handle that?"
I scoffed, giving him a look. "I ain't new to this, Manny." He took a slow sip of his drink, watching me over the rim of his glass. I did the same, exhaling as the burn hit my chest. "I really am sorry about Kim. That shit ain't right." He nodded, swirling his drink like he was trying to drown out something.
"Nothing is these days."
Then, without really thinking, I chuckled. A smirk tugged at his lips.
"Yeah, well, life got a funny way of bringing shit full circle. I met Kim at this spot a long time ago. It was because of her. I became a regular here for a while. Folks here are good people, and they would have loved to see Kim back out there on that floor."
Sounds like a good time to me, and a good time is what I need.
I wasn't sure how many drinks we were in. Didn't really matter. The conversation had slowed, drifting into something easier. No expectations, no weight, just drinking, sitting, existing. And then she paused, looked me dead in the eye, and grabbed my knee.
Well, what an explosive chapter that was. You've just listened to another twist in the dark tale of We Hit. If your heart's racing and you're craving more, you know what to do. Smash that like button and hit subscribe. Things are about to get even bloodier, more deceitful, and thrilling. So stay with us and brace yourselves for the next chapter.
Wow.